Welcome back to another message crawler update. Today we're talking about a tool to parse Cellebrite XML file. Now this tool isn't for parsing text messages out of Cellebrite XML. It is for extracting other additional information from that XML file. Let's go to my computer and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, we're in the message crawler and we're going to go to import section and we're going to navigate to an area called applications with limited testing. That is because this is a brand new tool and it is currently being developed and perfected. So I'm going to click on it, open it, and here we go. We see Cellebrite XML metadata extractor. So what does this tool do? This tool goes through the entire XML file and it looks for different objects or object types that are present. So for example, web bookmarks, visited pages, locations, calls, contacts, all these different things. And it pulls metadata about those objects. Why would you need that? Well, generally you wouldn't. However, if you don't have Cellebrite or you would like to have more customizable way of exporting data out of Cellebrite, you can use this tool to read the XML, pull it out, make a DAT file, and load it to review tool of your choice. And so what we would do here is select, let's say none, and then go through and say, all right, well, I'm interested in device events, user accounts, and passwords. I would like to be able to export them. So then you would hit the import XML, and then you would send that to grid. All right, and then of course you can control your control number and all those things. Again, data here isn't necessarily for RSMF creation. You probably could do it if you'd like. You just need to map the fields right. But this is more for examination. Couple of things to note. Each one of these object types have a lot of metadata fields, like so many that it's crazy. And I went through and I picked out what I would think would be relevant fields. And even then, if you load all these into a table, you have like maybe a gazillion fields going across. I don't know. I think I counted up to a gazillion. Anyway, it's a lot of fields. And it would be really difficult to load that into something like a relativity or review environment because you have to make them. If you want to make them, you can, of course, go ahead and do that. However, there are some new export options that I added here that could make things a little bit easier. And there is this export tool called export plus dat plus native plus generated text. So what we can do here is we can run an export, we can assign a custodian, and we can choose whether we want to copy a native file, which is this section here, right? This is if you check files, it's going to go through the top section of the XML. It contains files and it's going to pull those out. And then you can also generate extracted text using metadata fields. So all those fields that are going across that are going to be generated will be sort of condensed into a text file. So for example, password metadata fields are different from contact metadata fields. So when you use generate extracted text, only populated fields will be written to a text file, which will be linked, and you can use that as an extracted text to load to review tool of your choice. And copy native files will obviously copy native files to a folder and rename them per this control number. And then when you do the export, the tool will generate two DAT files for you. One is going to be a simplified DAT file, which is right here. It's going to have just the basic numbers, your control number, paths, custodian, model type, basic things like that. And so you would load this DAT file with extracted text. And it will also export a DAT file that contains all the fields. Now, if you uncheck, for example, calls here, right, and contacts, well, those metadata fields not going to be present. It's going to only export fields that are present and populated anywhere in the DAT file. So you'll get two DAT files. One is small, compact, what you should use, and the other one is like a giant one with crazy number of columns going all the way to the right. If you want that, use it. If you don't want to, don't use it. Couple of warnings here. This tool has been built based on my experience seeing the data. I picked out what fields I thought were important. So if you looking at, for example, I don't know, powering events, and then there is an event that you would like to see and it isn't being captured, let me know. I'll include it in the next version. Right? It's not a big deal. But point is this, what I've picked out and pull out from this XML is subjective, and I made decisions what to extract and what not to extract, mainly just because of the volume of fields. There's just so much data available, and most of it isn't useful, at least in my opinion. All right, so that's my Cellebrite XML metadata extractor. Hope it's going to be useful to you. Let me know if it is, if you need something added to it, if there are more object types to add. I would love to add them. The only thing I will ask is you will need to send me sample data. You can't tell me that there is an object ABCXYZ. Could you please add the support to it? I will not be able to because I don't have Cellebrite and I would not be able to generate that. So you would have to generate some kind of dummy data and send that over to me that I can load on my end, develop the tool, and test to make sure it works. All right, thanks for checking out this update. Download copy of Message Crawler, try it out, let me know what you think about it, and I will see you in the next video.